How has your ranked climb been going? Today, we're going to be diving into the top tournaments that have been taking place, some of that are ongoing currently right now with a high number of players, and just kind of seeing what's going on in the week to bring to you the best decks that you should be playing right now. So let's go ahead and jump right on into our first one, which is Decidueye EX. This deck went 7-0, completely undefeated, where you are having a different ratio of your top end here. So typically we've seen two Decidueye EX, but you actually have one so you can fit in one Chingling, and that just kind of shows you how powerful Chingling has been in this meta, being able to stop the rare candies and the Pokeballs, especially if your opponent dead draws and only has the one basic that they're supposed to start with and nothing else. Means that you already have the advantage here, being able to build up into your own pieces. You play two stage ones, so that way Chingling doesn't bother you as much, and so that way you can go right on into everything else here, softening things up to ensure that things are ready for a Decidueye or Decidueye EX follow-up. With the way that this prize mapping works, you have 1 point, 1 point, and then 2 points here, so it does make sense that the Chingling, with the Chingling being in here, that you do have just the one Decidueye EX, but this also just gives you a third Pokemon that they eventually have to take down while you're still disrupting them. You still have means of healing in this deck. Leaf Cape, Lily, Erica. You're finding your cards through Copycat, your Pokemon through May, just to ensure that you can provide that consistency. So that way you can just get into these big boys and start sniping from anywhere. As soon as you get into the sniping arrow, that 70 damage to those benches, to those basics that they're trying to pull up, goes a long way. And then we continue into Mega Altaria EX. This deck continues to stay in the top standings. I'm actually going to show you, just like we see here in the top 4, 2, and 3. Take a look at this right here. Oh, well, actually, I think this one, oh, we're dropping down to 28. Oh, hold on now. Oh, hold on now. But I will say it comes back having a 12-0, right? Like, it's just like, it's still very, very strong of a deck because you get so many basics here, right? 2, 4, 5, 6. You soften things up with Jirachi, you stop everything that they're trying to do with Chingling, you heal within DDDEX, your bench is filled, you're attacking for 130, you have 190, but you definitely have a lot more HP. The Rocky Helmets have also been super helpful in terms of knocking off health to put yourself in range for knockout for the 130 that you're going to get here as well. And then this has been fun, well, not fun when you're on the receiving end, but Guzma, to ensure that those capes that are running around do go away, so that way you do hit for this price point for like that benchmark of 130 every single time. This has been I've seen now, like with this deck, especially this deck being the one that went 12-0, the only difference here really is that they did trade out the non-EX Altaria for the Guzma to be able to fit this Guzma in here, but you are effectively able to deal with Oricorio through your Jirachi hits, through the Rocky Helmets, ping there, through the healing of that. So they eventually do go down in similar fashion to like how Darkrai and Giratina were able to effectively whittle down those Oricorios through the pings and through the Rocky Helmet damage. And then we continue to a fun contender that's coming right back up here. You have Mega Absol Darkrai with Greninja and Chingling, which did really well over the weekend. This deck is dark energy only, so you are effectively not attacking with Greninja. You are just essentially trying to use this to ping and then do a lot of passive damage, right? So a Greninja here does 20. If you have 2 of them out, that does 40. the Darkrai does 60, and a Chingling does 70. It's a lot of work around there, but like you can't take out an Oricorio in that sense. But I will say you do that a lot often. Ideally, you will want like a Darkrai, a Mega Absol, a Chingling, and a Greninja. A Chingling goes down, then you can build up the second Greninja and start attacking from there. Being able to attack for 120 per turn is pretty sweet, especially when you're able to discard your opponent's supporter cards at the same time. Greninja is just a very good card. It's just a very good card. And being able to soften things up, adding that additional damage, and being able to pair up these two, Darkrai and Mega Absol, because this only requires 2. Like, you have a place to put all that extra dark energy, and you can just continue to attack away. While you are looking for this build up, you still are doing damage to your active spot with Darkrai. So this flows really well. And if you want to see this out in action, we definitely have a highlight of this deck already on the channel. We'll continue to none other than Suicune Greninja EX here. It is now swapped Giratina for Indeedee EX. At first, it was just kind of like just these two, and then you would have 2 Iridas. But this is just kind of the build that's been working. You can instead, another variation is where it's 2 Greninja EXs. So depending on if you need more bulk when going into your own meta and like what you're seeing, but double tapping with Greninja and being able to pull up twice with Cyrus has been super helpful. You might end up doing a lot of just like one Froakie is Greninja EX, another Froakie is Greninja, and like that's often. But if you're dealing with a lot of Oricorios and seeing a lot of that nonsense in here, having double Greninjas in here is just super helpful for that as well. But this constant healing per turn, giving survivability to Suicune, giving survivability to Greninja EX here with the double capes, 160, 190, even goes a long way. The utility use of Indeedee EX in the Suicune EX deck really makes sure that Suicune doesn't go anywhere. For this, I'm also excited to see what these new cards are going to look like. They're potentially coming out on the 17th. So we're about like a week and a half away from getting new cards, and with the way that this is going, it might just supplement this, or we might see something come out on top. But for right now, since Suicune has been dropped, Suicune has been featured as one of the top and premier decks, and you have so many answers to things, which is why that makes that happen. We continue into this variation of Dark Energy with the Crobat EX, Nihilego, and Absol kind of coverage here. Essentially, you are looking to build up to your poison. You have your poison barbs, you're trying to stack it up. When Nihilego, poison takes care of your Oricorio. Absol here, it just does 30 to any of your benchmons. So if they are putting babies out, or you know, a Swablu goes out in 2, a Rowlet goes out in 2. If we take a look, Froakie goes out in 2 as well. So if they don't have that next evolution, they're going down. So this Absol here is kind of key into that, and of course Mega Absol has needs no introduction here. Being able to attack and discard your supporters are great, but the core really comes down to this piece here, in which you're all about the poison. Fast evolve poison, get it down, have them lose 30 every Pokemon checkup. So by the time that it comes back to you, you've actually dealt 130 worth of damage, which is kind of crazy. 60 damage passive is insane when it comes to this more poison stack. And then because of that, this variation just doesn't include the 2 Mega Absols in here, right? So when you're looking at key differences, you're able to have a second copycat in here, and you're also able to have some healing in here as well, just to give a little bit more survivability for the Crobat EX. Just jumping right into it, getting that poison in there. If you're worried about Chingling, your Nihilego deals the 30 to take it out right away, and because this doesn't just needs 1 energy to go and into attack, you're totally fine and okay with spending the energy on the Helio to get that Chingling done and out of there. This poison also too with the stack also takes care of them, which is like pretty nice. So overall, it really depends on like what's your flavor here. Like, do you want to go into this mega, or do you just want to just deal with the poison and really use your Crobat EX here as your main attacking space, and getting Copycat to ensure that you can get into your Pokemon there. Then we go into this, which might be one of the premier Mega Absol decks that's like just all about the high roll. Hydreigon is an absolute beast of a card here, and oftentimes when I play against this, I get scared every single turn because the rare candy into the immediate ramp 130 is nuts. And if they have the Giovanni as well too, that hits out a lot of mons. That puts the Crobat out of commission. It's only down to 30. Mega Absol is down to 30, and that's almost the game. Suicune's out of the game immediately. Darkrai's out of the game out immediately. Like, Mega Altar is down to 50 HP, where like that Indeedee is not saving it. So this card, especially on those high rolls off of a Copycat, is very scary to deal with, especially when they go first and they just have it. So definitely terrifying. This ability, Rowan Urison, that 30 damage is good in a sense that like there's some kind of drawback, but when you're knocking out these EX Pokemon or already essentially putting your opponent with a huge mountain to climb back out of, that 30 damage to this means nothing when this is only worth 1 point. The interesting piece here is I've seen variations where there are 2 Indeedee EXs being ran instead of Absol. But you have your Absol, Mega Absol package here. Again, leap over to attack the bench if you need to get those quick extra points. If they try to run away from Hydreigon and you've already used your Cyrus on something else, Mega Absol discards supporters. But the thing with the Indeedee EX means that if you have one of them out, you're taking only 10 damage when you use your Roar in Unison attack, or if you have 2 of them, you're actually plus 10 in terms of healing here, because you're taking 30, but you're healing for 40. So yeah, if you like being able to attack in the back, you can use that. If you want to replace this Absol with a second version of Indeedee EX, trust and believe, it does work. It's still the same amount of different Pokemon in here, and like you're able to get that high roll potential regardless with that. And then in our last deck that we're going to talk through is Magnezone Oricorio. You want to deal with those pesky Megas, you want to deal with those pesky EXs that we just talked through. Your Oricorio is the way to go here. Pokemon Center lady in here, PCL, is actually huge for all of that poison that's being run around. Keeping this thing as well too, so that way you can live some extra turns. It is really nice here, and being able to retreat from one into your other Oricorio, so that way you can also rinse and repeat statuses, is also pretty strong. Magnezone, 160 with the cape, 110 damage is powerful. There's not a lot of things that are going to want to take this twice. It's only a 1 prize pointer here. You don't have to worry about the energy that is needed for this, because Oricorio's low to the ground. You're getting that self energy from Magneton. That's why you don't play rare candy in this deck, to ensure that this beast is online as soon as you get that card going. But yeah, y'all, let me know, what do you all think? Which deck are you playing currently right now in a ranked? Would love to know all the different builds that are out there, so that way we can also play them on the channel as well too. If you enjoy the vibes of this channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell button, and don't forget to hype the video. Until next time, y'all, peace!